Toxic people exist because they're rewarded for being toxic. You have to go back into time and remember what toxic people are. They were once somebody who got bullied from something. May it be from their family, may it be from school, may it be from society. And eventually, because there's really no incentive to being a good person, right? You should be, you should want to be a good person. What's a good person? You don't go out of your way to try to make it hard for others. You don't go out of your way to be maliceful to others. You don't go out of your way to always try to make it about something that somebody else did to you versus just figuring out how you can either alleviate it for yourself or take it out of your life for yourself. Most people become toxic because let's just think about a scenario in high school. Okay, you're the kid who no one really talked to, and you were smart and you were intelligent, and then you got picked on, right? So you have one or two choices: to be a good person and realize that people suck and you can make it a better place by just continuing to have a loving heart, or you can go to the distorted side and become a bully also and use your intelligence and use your money and use your status as you get older to then go back and tell people what they're supposed to look like, act like, dress like, be like. You have to remember, no one is going to tell you that they're a bully or that they're toxic. They hide behind businesses, they hide behind titles, they hide behind family, culture, right? We see it a lot of times. This is just how I was raised. To be a bully? Okay, that's fine. I tell people, I accept how you were raised. I don't have to accept your behavior in my life. It's that simple. It's a choice. So I have a lot of people who come around me in the past time and past lives where they acted a certain way and behaved a certain way. And I would tell them, can you just nod or try to be this? And they'd be like, oh, you're always saying be nice, be nice. And I'm like, yeah, because sometimes you have to pretend to be nice so that you can find a way to be a kind person. Now, the distortion has become pretend to be nice while still being an evil person behind closed doors. And that's the culture that people have been rewarded by. So most people think it's because it's outwardly. No, this is a behind the closed door thing all the time. That's why they say when you get in those rooms and you sit at those desks and you hear how people really talk, that's who they really are. Because they're allowing themselves to not only justify it, they're allowing themselves to give up a part of their autonomy to then say that they are okay with you now. Because I don't understand that mindset of because it happened to me, it should happen to you. Do you understand that that is trauma on so many levels that now you're going to go out and replicate it and say, well, because I suffered, you should suffer, or because everyone else is suffering, you should suffer? That's not healthy. I know that we talk this way. It will never be healthy that because you suffered, others should suffer. I do believe in retaliation. Don't get it twisted. Now, remember, these are different aspects of the same whole. Retaliation is if you come up and spit in my face, I'm going to slap the crap out of you. I'm not going to wipe it off, be like, oh, turn the other cheek. No, that's a whole other fallacy that I don't believe in. But what I'm saying with toxic behavior is if you coming up and you're talking crap to me, and I see that I don't know you, nor do I care. And if I do know you and care about you, I still don't care about what you have to say about me. I think people forget the reality of when you care about toxic energy, you give it life. So when you breathe life into toxicity, it's going to breed life into society. And that's where you get people who say, well, if you talk and act this way, then you're gay. And I've said this for a long time. I am gay. So how do you bully someone who knows what they are? You can't. But you go back into society and say, well, I'm not like the rest of them. So, as long as they ain't over here with me, and I wouldn't be. Do you see me? Why would I mess with you? This is the reality of some people's minds that they can't see because they've been taught this weird caste tier system of I'm better than you if, or you're lesser than me if, and then we start to believe it because there's enough groups large enough who are speaking this back into reality, enough groups large enough that the rhetoric seems true, but it's not. You guys have to get to a point remembering just because enough people repeat it don't mean it's real. Just because enough people repeat it doesn't mean it's real, right? It was like the whole demure thing. I love it still. I think it was cute. The person who created it, have nothing against them. But what they were talking about was just being demure, being cutesy, right? How you present yourself and all this. And people ran with that and they took it to a whole nother philosophy to go out there and dog people and be rude to people and think it's a point of being condescending. And I'm like, if that's where your heart goes, then that's where you already were. versus it just being playful and cute, how it was built to be. It's just saying, have self-confidence in yourself. When the world beats you down, find a way to be cute about it. Take care of yourself. That's what I took from it, right? So again, it's always going to be about the mentality of how you take in toxic energy. If you're choosing to make something a negative, it will be a negative. If you want it to be a positive, it will be a positive. Don't get it twisted. People are always going to come for the positive. Why? Because people don't understand how you have it in you, and they don't. They can't figure out, why do you have the fuel to be so happy? And then they're like, they must be fake because inside of me, I am bitter and angry, and I don't know how they can figure out how to still be happy. Who says that I can't have these moments of bitterness and having moments of being upset and angry? Those are moments. They're not my personality, my persona, nor my mindset. So for me to run out and say, this is how I am, toxic for life, let's be negative, let's be nasty, do it. Go for it and see how your life keeps working out for you, because you will be rewarded for it in that distorted pool of energy that you're trying to entertain. Now, when you step outside of that and you realize this group is really this big. It looked this big when you're on the inside. Yeah, think about a club. When you're in a crowded room and everybody on the floor, and it just seems like, oh my God, this place is packed. It's amazing. And you're drinking and it just feels like the best thing ever. And then you're the sober person who can walk upstairs and look at the aerial view down and realize it ain't nothing but 20 people in there. But they're having the best time of their life. Even if the perspective is, ain't nobody here. Ain't nothing happening. This is lame. To them, it's amazing because they're all in the world of toxicity together. Remember, drinking is not bad, but there's a level of drunkenness where you believe anything is okay, and you're all into it together. And so the reality is you have to know how to have a sober mind and heart when it comes to life. I'm not saying you have to be sober all the time because I know people like to do their stuff. But what I'm saying is having a sober mind and heart means no matter what happens around me, I'm not going to choose the toxic side. I have no energy for toxicity because it's boring to me. Toxic is funny. Here's the part that's messed up, because I can admit that. Toxic and funny sometimes. When you see that kind of like person who's just talking all that crap and somebody come back and read them the filth. I love Miss New York. That's who represents toxic to me, because she knows it and she thinks it's funny and she's making money off of it. I ain't got nothing against that. But if that's how you truly feel all the time, where your mind is always ready to just go in and dig out somebody's jugular, that's your energy. And there's nothing that I can do about that. But I want people to remember, don't act surprised because toxic people exist, because the world has bullied them into being these toxic energies. And we love to reward people who are a little bit toxic that way, because we have all been bullied on some level. We have all been ostracized on some level. So when people stand up and speak out, we love it. That is the part of us where we love to see the underdog win. We love the superhero stories against the villain. But people have to remember the villain is the villain because they were bullied. We always have a backstory of how somebody got there. Not everybody is always going to be that person. Yes, we have some really messed up people out there with different types of mental psychosis and stuff where chemically they were born with that. And there's not much you can do with that. But there is a way of perpetuating behavior that you encourage it, which can take that person to the next level, which is how we have narcissists. And everyone's using the word narcissist, because we've learned to recognize behaviors that have always been glorified as, they just care about me. They just trying to protect me. If that's what you choose to believe. I don't believe in toxicity. That's why it doesn't affect my life. Do I say that it doesn't exist? Clearly it exists, but do I have to believe in it? No. It's the same difference as saying, like, do you believe in giving? Some people don't believe in giving. I mean, it's a simple statement, but I'm saying you have to really think about what's giving. Giving to me is this. Giving to me is sharing ideas. Giving to me is holding space for those who I want to hold space for. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody wants to do that. So it's the same thing when it comes to toxic energy. Everybody's not going to choose to be a good person because it's a good thing to do. They're going to choose toxic because it's easy and it's available. So people are always going to choose what's available over what's not available. So it's up to you to choose what part of that life is going to be utilized and which part of your life is actually going to be for you. Because I am not about to sit around and just keep accepting that people are like, why do toxic people exist? Because you let them. Because I'm going to call you out. If you're around me, I'm going to call you out, or I'm just going to dismiss you from my life. And you're going to be like, why does Joanne not talk to me anymore? Because you're toxic as fuck. Have a good day.